Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I am a twin flame expert and I help twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show, and today is the summer solstice, so happy summer solstice. I wanted to share a special topic here that I've been feeling two or three different topics kind of coming in at the same time through all the downloads and the information that I've personally received over the last week. It's been really lightning speed, I must say. And we're breaking down a lot of the paradigms in order to set up ourselves to be able to go forward with new energy, new light codes in a new way. And so I've kind of funneled in some of this information and condensed it so I can kind of cover the bigger picture in a shorter version of kind of what I'm working on. But it is also going to be the new moon in Cancer on the 23rd. So this time frame that we're in is not only about having collapsed our old paradigms and our collapsed our old ways of thinking, our actions, our thoughts, and our feelings, but also implementing and expanding our new ways that we've been programmed up through this time frame and put those now into action. But as we put those into action, it's about also taking a look and celebrating where we've come and how far we've came. And I've been noticing a need to share something that I want to kind of filter into this topic is that, today's topic is going to be, the summer solstice is the gateway to our union. So I want to also first say that our union is based on the creating the completion, the oneness of self, coming into our own truth, basically, and what it is that resonates with us and what we've been shown and what is our truth. And everybody is on different levels with that. And so I want to break that down too as I unfold this message so people can kind of get an understanding of this, because everybody's coming at this from a different angle. And it's a little bit different for everybody, but all trying to reach the same end result. And so I just feel, based on some different knowledge and wisdom and people that have reached out to me over the last week, to kind of funnel this in as start this opening with an understanding of these different paradigms, different dimensions that we're all funneling into the same pool here. And so union, I said, is coming into ourself, which is a necessary component that we have to complete before we can merge into reunion, which is the physical connection of our twin flame and the physical 3D. And so basically, with these different dimensions, we have funneling through here three different waves of twins kind of all at the same time right now. We have the ones that's been around for a while that, like myself, is already gotten into mission, already gotten into purpose, which is all about a twin flame journey. And that would be the first wave that's kind of been coming through and expanding their missions and expanding also their highest version of their self, creating expansion after having already went through the ascension process, now expanding that. But as we expand, we've had to take another deeper dive in, because everything's duality. So if you expand, you've got to go back in and take another deeper dive. And by taking another deeper dive, some people are looking at that and saying, well, I've done enough already and I've already done the work, and don't realize there's another dive coming to get through the expansion of that ascension work, which is what will bring into your space your purpose. And the second wave of twins coming through are the ones that have been going through the ascension process. They're feeling that enlightenment. They're putting into motion the actions that it takes in order to having come into a high version of themselves, and have done a lot of soul work, a lot of the deep work, and let go of a lot of things that no longer serve purpose. But they've also been kind of stuck in that aspect going forward and through that expansion of the ascension because of several reasons, not knowing what to do next, because you kind of, even like myself did this, you get to that place and it's like, okay, well, what's next, and I've even said that before, having got to that space. And so I kind of asked that question, and so I could understand it better to help other people understand that as well. And the third wave of twins, we have twin flames that since December 21st of 2016 are continually to wake up to this new identity from the first time ever, new, fresh, first taste of what's going on here. And they're kind of like going, what? Because the universe has moved up on a fast track and got all this new dimensions coming in, and it's forcing some of this stuff out of people faster and faster as time goes by, because we're moving from what I call that fast track, meaning like the universe has a plan, and that no matter how hard we try to resist it, where we used to have a lot of time to process this information, then integrate it and creating those awarenesses, we're being forced to speed up that process and to realize that those details just don't matter anymore, and that we're being forced to release those like quicker and not hang on to things as long because of the new paradigms that are coming in. I've been even experiencing this over the last week myself through some of these shifts and changes. Also, we're being forced to communicate at a much grander scale. Like my communication is getting louder, stronger, broader. And for the last week, I feel like somebody's had like something inside of my throat chakra, not the constriction of before when you don't speak your truth or you don't talk, but within there, that's creating expansion. It feels like my throat chakra is trying to be pushed open because it's trying to belt out that new like voice that I have in a much stronger level, and I can feel it physically. And in fact, you can hear my voice sometimes. It really will crack up. But so we're being asked then to as what I'm finding, because having been on this journey for over 20 years and not the whole time knowing what was happening, but looking back, seeing everything that was happening, and now having got to this level to help others, the rate at which I process information, integrate, and get awarenesses has shifted into lightning speed. I don't even have time to think or process much anymore because things are coming in so fast to be able to implement so fast. And I'm feeling from the universe, there's just no time to focus on these details and just to let so many things go so we can get out in the world to put our message into action, which is what a twin flame journey technically is all about, and becoming that best version of us. So that is, I wanted to make sure you understood we have, those three different waves of funneling into this all at the same time. So I want to repeat this. I like to repeat things just so people really, on a clear level. We have the first wave of people that's been around for a while shifting into mission. We have a second wave of people that have been ascended, but they're stuck. They've got to the higher self, but they're stuck in purpose. And then we have all these new twin flames that are coming in and just now waking up to an identity. And this is all happening at the same time. So now, with that being said, I wanted to bring that up here because this is the new gateway going forward. As in the solstices, we've got 1 year in the 2017 represents a 1 year. So we're in a new cycle. We are, this is a new beginning, and we've spent if you look at some of my past videos, we've spent some time here taking another dip, pulling things up and out, and to shift this coming up again. And as we did so, now this solstice is marking the gateway of going forward with the new light codes that's being downloaded to dissolve all the old ways we did things and to implement new ways of doing things. And this marks the beginning of a new beginning of a new beginning. I see that, throughout the eclipses and the full new moon cycles through July and August are going to also be, for some people, going much deeper in order to do some of the shadow work. And also some people that's been around for a while, they're going to have to also do a little deeper work again to create the expansion, because there's no, the greater our shadow, the darker our, the greater our light, the darker our shadow. So if we go up and expand, we've got to went deep to come up to create the awareness for the expansion of that, which also during this Cancer time frame is helping us expand our emotions, because we've numbed ourselves and we haven't been feeling what we should be feeling, and we've cut that side of ourselves off. And now it's about learning how to expand that emotional range so we start to feel more. And if you've been doing some of the dark work, you're going to start to feel the time of celebration, the time of opening up. But if you've skipped that, or you're just coming into that, you're going to start to be feeling more of some of the darker, deeper things that need to still come up to be released. And seeing that this is going to take place through the new moon in September. And then in September through December, I've been kind of showed through guidance that will be a time frame to bring this stuff into the physical realms on physical 3D. So what that means is that we have been up to this point, we've been taking this stuff as the union self, okay, the self of stepping into the truth and acceptance and creating balance within self. That's creating union and self. That is putting us in alignment with source and all that we came here to experience, do, be, and have, to co-create our life in the way that we were designed to do. And that is alignment with source. And as we continue to align with source, we become more that one with ourselves to come one with source. Once we've done that and we've embodied that within ourselves, that means we are now like pulling in the energetic aspect of our twin flame in order to start to merge on a deeper one level with them. And that's now embodying them within us for us to realize all this time there really was no separation. They were doing everything that they were doing along the path to keep us in check for everything that we're doing along our path. And what the paradigms are doing is they're templates, and one's doing shadow work, one's doing dark. So when one shifts to like, one's doing shadow work, one's doing light work. When the light work kind of starts to go up and, expansion, and then does the deeper dive, it gives the, and that's usually the divine feminine, and that usually gives then the divine masculine. As they kind of go back in a little deeper dive, they start coming up, and it's kind of this parallel. So you've also had old ways with each other that you've done and handled things, and say your template fit together like this. And through these old paradigms, it's been broken apart. Now you're both each shifting within yourself to create that oneness of self, and then reharmonizing how to connect with others and your twin new ways that now has to go. Like, so this is the old ways pulling apart, creating oneness with self. Now implementing new ways, new codes that shifted the dynamic and made role reversals. Now reharmonizing that in the new way, in the way that you've always wanted and what it is you technically want out of your twin. And it's creating a role reversal aspect in this. And to help understand this flip in this dynamic is so important, so you can understand that the ways that you keep thinking that you don't want, you won't have. But you first have to look within to change self, allow self to become one. As twin comes in and merges into one with you, realizing there was no separation and feeling the energetic merge, that then pulls your dynamic back together in a physical 3D form, so you can come together and start to harmonize all the pieces that have been misaligned all this time. And that still takes some work in order to do that within the 3-dimensional aspects. It doesn't just flip. But the goal is to bring it into form, and not just your twin, anything that you've been trying to manifest. So this whole time frame is a perfect time to be able to set new intentions in new ways and understand the concept of our old ways don't work. We're relearning new ways to do things, and we're breaking apart the old paradigms, creating harmony and balance, and then coming together in a new way. So I just want to step there for 1 second, because I feel like there may be something I want to make sure I didn't miss in that. That's important. So give me 1 second here. No, I feel like that was actually good. The only thing I do want to say in this process is that energy can really get stuck in this process, and therefore we get stuck. So we are energetic beings. Everything around us is energy. Energy is constantly moving and expanding and changing, and we have to learn to grow with the flow. And if we're not growing with the flow and we get stuck, then our energy gets stuck in us, around us, and then that causes things around us to shift. I personally have had a few things stuck for a little bit myself, and this last week I've seen these shifts just fall into place. In fact, today I will be wrapping up everything up through this whole process that I've been working on for 2 to 3 years. I have a conference call with someone this afternoon that is to put closure to a project and be the final piece of something that's been stuck for a long time. A long time. When technically about 16 years when I started the idea, but then putting it into motion over the last 3, and then it kept getting stuck. And now today we'll wrap that up, and that will be the final piece that I've seen to wrap up in a lot of pieces that I've been doing. And so I'm super excited about that. And some major shifts have happened to me over the last 1 to 2 weeks. In fact, that's one reason why I've delayed doing a couple videos in this time frame, is because I have been literally downloading information at lightning speed, and then taking that and putting all those pieces together and trying to format it in such a way to come out and deliver it. And as you know, I feel like this information that I've gotten, technically, one, it feels like it's enough information it would take an eternity to like share, even just within the last couple weeks. But I feel like that like I've taken in all this information that's going to provide enough information over the next several months that it's almost like we've got this wave of these downloads and this light codes and these new templates that are, and this is also too, I will tell you, these templates, like I've been doing so much inner work and so much downloading and so much connection to bring this out there that I haven't been out as much at this moment. But what I have made a lot of connection, I'm getting the consensus of other light workers, other healers, other twin flame experts, that they're getting the same information. Just like, you know, the Egyptians and the Mayans got the same exact download of time and space. We're getting the same information, and we're not even in a direct contact. The people all over are saying the same thing that I've been seeing recently, that I've been able to kind of recheck some things, and it's pretty amazing stuff that we are all getting that same information. So that's, I've been getting a lot of confirmation that, you know, where I'm at in this time, in this space, and that I'm right on track with where we need to be. So the point being, though, is when energy is stuck, then we have to shift it. And how do we shift it? Well, we need to shift our perception. We need to shift our focus. That's the only thing that's going to shift our reality. And so I want to give you like 3 tips today in order to help you like reset that for yourself, and doing it in a idea and a concept of how you can do that around your twin flame dynamic. So the first thing is to stop chasing your twin. Surrender to the silence. If you have not seen that video that I posted with Surrender to the Silence, please do so. It is very powerful. Chasing is nothing more than running from yourself, and then also becomes very exhausting, resentful. And then the second thing that I want to tell you is what a lot of people do, they think they're surrendering, they think they're letting go, and they're really just changing the dimensions of their space and letting go a little time. Sometimes we have to do that because we can't go through and eat an elephant all in one bite. And then when we don't do it all at once, then we have self-doubts about what we're doing, and we think that we're messing up and we're sabotaging ourselves because we don't get it all at the same time. But we can't, because we're human. And so it's going to be very important that we learn how to understand and have self-awareness and self-acceptance in the fact that these paradigms are going to happen slowly and gradually. And to do so, we need to just accept ourselves. We need to be able to learn how to speak our truth and do it with clarity and do it in a sense that we don't hold resentment, and not to set ourselves up for failure by giving out too much love, feeding our twin too much, giving them too much, and giving ourselves away to everything, and then being so resentful that we've done it. And to realize, and I got that concept at the dentist last week with Dr. Seuss' book with A Fish Out of Water, how the little boy fed the fish and fed the fish, and he kept feeding the fish, and the fish kept growing. And so as the fish grew, he had to keep changing the pots and flower pots and bathtub and pool. And he was trying to control the environment, but he was giving everything to the fish, and the fish kept growing, but the fish kept feeling stuck and not having enough space to breathe. But it was still a controlled environment. The fish wasn't let out of the space in order to be fully let go of to feed himself. And that's what I'm suggesting here for you to let go of, is stop feeding your twin, feed yourself. And then your twin will come back and feed you, because it only ends up with 2 fish out of water when you give yourself away, and then you resent your twin for that. The other thing to let go in this shift in this energy is to let go of the highs and the lows, the roller coaster concept and idea, because we feed ourselves on relationships being love and hate relationships. And it's that high and that low, and the codependency and those addictions, and also the abandonment that comes along with that, that creates the concept of the dynamic of needing that high and low for the next fix. Now, this tends to be a lot more even in the divine masculine this is happening to, but the divine feminine is riding on the roller coaster and not getting off and continuing to chase after that as well. So these are 3 tips I'd like to say, to give you in order for you to make some shifts in your energy so you can stop being stuck in the dynamic and get back to self and create more self-acceptance and more self-worth, and for everyone to be celebrating this time. It's really a gift. It can be really beautiful when you look at it from within and you see all the changes that you've made from you, and be able to enjoy that and so like embrace that beauty. It's really a beautiful experience. And so I did draw some cards I do want to share with you that was kind of like, because I always talk about dualities between like ourselves being like the light and the dark, the good and the bad. I did this today kind of in honor of this whole solstice about how going forward, and actually also created the same concept that I'm saying. Like, I'd already came up with the topic and the idea, and it kind of matched it because I did the card drawing after the fact. So what I did was, for the masculine card, I actually got the divine twin, releasing the lower self. So and the duality of that is the feminine twin is starting to enter the vortex and infinite abundance. And this is exactly what I was just saying. So getting in alignment, creating expansion of self. And by doing so, that is shifting the divine masculine, and he is beginning to look at the man in the mirror in the physical 3D. And instead of just in the 5D or not accepting it. He's starting to take some accountability, and he's starting to look at himself, but that's because the divine feminine is starting to expand. And then the next card, set of cards I drew, was that for the divine masculine is clearing up a lot of the past and releasing a lot of the past, and that is taking a lot of karmic relationships to help get that deeper, lower layer of what needs to be released through other relationships that are necessary. They're part of the contract to rid self. But as that divine masculine is doing that deep, deep, deep shadow work, that's helping the divine feminine create divine creativity and create cosmic universal intelligence, which is as it is on heaven, so it is on earth, and bringing in that energy and downloading that information, like I was saying, that's happening to a lot of the twins that's been around for a while, that is pulling in all the same information from the divine. So that's, this is another backup to that. Then in the divine masculine, we're seeing the separation. They're creating themselves as an island, But they're actually starting to do so is because they're starting to focus on themselves, which is actually a very beautiful and good thing, that they're actually starting to take some accountability and responsibility for their own actions within them. Now, instead of you focusing on them and you focus on yourself, what that's doing is it's helping you go within, remembering your own identity, remembering who you are, remembering, creating personal empowerment, that you have inside of you everything you need for this journey for yourself, and that this is a self journey. And to see them as more of a gift, and to more that they're there to help you stay on alignment with your journey. And you do that, and then they start doing that for themselves. And that's what we're seeing here. In addition to that, we're starting to see a lot of the divine masculine enter space in the fifth dimension vibrational energy. And that's where I was saying, where the divine feminine is coming into one with self, aligning with source, creating one with self, one with source. And then that is pulling in their divine masculine in the 5D, in the energy realms, connecting into the point of, I have been feeling and talking to other people that how they're having experiences with other outside sources, outside people, dynamics, and relationships that's setting them up to feel everything about their twin. Everything, as if they were their twin, and they see the other person as them. These dynamics are giving you like the opportunity to see the mirror effect of what your twin feels and yourself. And this is creating the unity of your twin on an energetic space within you, realizing they are in you because they're teaching you every step of the way. And this is really picking up speed. And I'm seeing so many people experience this just recently. As you can tell, my voice is still cracking up here. But what it's also doing is it's creating a potential deeper Voyager's journey to release some past lives that are the deepest ones to rectify for what we came here to experience for our individual self. I personally just did this over the weekend. I thought I'd clear all the past lives I needed. I've been moving forward. I knew there was this one little piece that was blocking this voice from getting bigger. And it presented itself to me this weekend in a way that is mind-blowing, in a way that I never could have went, if in my wildest dreams, imagine searching out that information. But when we get in that alignment and we show up for what we came here to do, and to do our own work and take accountability for ourselves, our actions, our feelings, our emotions, and our life, what we need for that journey will show up. And everything is in divine order, divine timing, and it all's perfect to get there. Embrace the journey. Use this new solstice energy gateway to come into that union of self, in the 3D of self, to pull in the fifth dimensional energy with your twin, so that you can bring that into form, as well as every other intention that you choose to set, because this is the time to set a lot of new intentions, because it's new ways, new timing. We've let go of a lot of things and we're recreating who we are, and the old ways don't work anymore. So we're having to recreate who we are, what we do, and what everything else is around us. But then from this fifth dimensional energy, we'll bring it into form and create the reunion. And this is the perfect gateway to start that process, no matter where you are in this journey. Whether you're in that round of the old timers, the ones that's been around a while but hasn't expanded and stuck, or you're a new person into this journey. It is time. We are in a plane through the energetic system and patterns of the universe that we're bringing everything into form. The new ways, the new light, and the new life. And so I wish you very much love and success along this journey. And be sure to like, comment, share the shine. And also be sure to check out, I'll post a link to a free video course that will help you along your journey, especially if you're new to this journey. And also if you're not new to this journey and you are feeling stuck, I've put together a 11-part video series, the Reboot Your Twin Soul, that parallels a lot of my book, Twin Flame Code Breaker, and then also parallels a lot of my Reboot Your Twin Soul program, and that I help people face their fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Much love to you. Many blessings. Namaste.